Okay, it is recording. Welcome everybody to the third week. You guys are halfway there. Woohoo! So excited that you guys are still in it to win it, and you guys do get your director promotion. You were just going to be amazed at the extra income, and just how excited you're going to end up getting about helping your other team members and growing your team. I mean, it's just infectious. It's addicting. So anyhow, so Samantha is going to start. She's going to introduce herself and talk about host coaching for in-home parties, and then I'm going to talk about host coaching for virtual parties. All right, Samantha, you're on.
Hi guys. As Miss Trish just explained, I'm Samantha. I've been with Pampered Chef since August. I did get to fast track, which was amazing. Huge opportunity. So let's see. I started because, well, I had a full-time job, ended up having baby number 3, decided that was our last baby and I was going to stay home with her. And then got home and was home for a couple months and realized I needed something more to do with my life. So I kind of looked into several direct sales opportunities, and then I remembered that my boss was Brittany Hinkle's mom. So I contacted her and was like, hey, can I sign up under Brittany? So that's kind of where things went. As far as how it's impacted my life, it has almost completely replaced my missing income. So that very much helps my boyfriend and I. We are a family of 5, 6 if you count his, but she's in Virginia, unfortunately. We're in Oklahoma. My personal favorite perk to being a director, I would probably have to say I personally like how it feels for my team to succeed, for myself to succeed as a leader. Of course, you know, the extra income and all that is great, but honestly, I like to feel needed is how I am. So that's one of the top things I think on my list that would, you know, be my favorite perk. Okay, so like Trish explained, I'm going to go over host coaching for cooking shows because we all know Miss Trish is a virtual rock star. So I was not about to step on her feet about that. So I'm just kind of jumping right in. So as soon as I get a booking, I put it on my calendar that I carry with me everywhere I go. So it goes in my daughter's diaper bag, and anytime I go anywhere, it's in my bag. I also, when I get home, if I get a booking, I put it on my calendar that's on my tablet. And then I also sit down and create the party in Consultant's Corner right away, so I don't forget. I personally have a paper checklist. If you haven't seen Claudia has a Google one, and I want to get to that point, but I think I'm more of a physical check it off kind of girl. I have a binder that is like a monthly binder, and every day I put in my checklist. Let's see. I sit down every day when I get up in the mornings or whenever I get a minute, because I have a 1-year-old at home, and do my checklist. So, for example, if I'm at my week 3, I do my phone calls to contact the host and verify that she's still on for her party. I mark that call off, and then I move that checklist to the Monday that is 2 weeks before their party. And the reason I do that is because that's when I send out all of the host packets. I do it all in one day for that week, or the 2 weeks, but a week's worth. And I just continue moving that checklist to each day that I need to do something according to their list. So, where am I at? So,
it's dinner time in America.
Why?
Hey, Brittany, can you mute yourself?
Preparation is perfect, and everyone knows to be mindful of the method.
Dinner times. I think I can do it. Let me get in here.
You got it? Okay. So then I mark off at my 3 weeks. I go to the Tuesday. I send out my host packets. Because because at the 3-week mark, I do verify with the host, yeah, we're still good to go. And I'm like, okay, next week I'm going to be sending you your host packet. I give her a couple of days, so usually I move it to the following Thursday, and then I contact them Thursday evening to discuss what is a good time, probably Friday the next day, to talk about what's in their host packet, and also to verify that they got their host packet. So personally for me, in my host packets, I have 2 catalogs that they can go through to make their wish list, as well as to carry with them everywhere they go out and about, because you never know who you're going to run into. Let's see, I do 2 order forms, and I only do 2 because most of my parties have become virtual, and I will physically never actually touch those order forms again. I highlight what information I need from them if they want to send me an order, if that guest doesn't want to get on the link to order. So where are we at? Yes, so I highlight the name, the address, phone number, and their payment information. And then I explain to the host that I need a product name and number so that when I enter it, it is correct. And then at that point, I will contact the guest, and I will go over their order and verify their shipping and tax. And then that's what I explain to my host that I do with those order forms. And then I also include a few mini catalogs to hand out for your host to hand out, a flyer of the guest special, a flyer of the host special, and then I also include a kit credit coupon. And at that point, I do my first host, ask her if she wants to become part of Pampered Chef, ask her if she wants some extra income. Because then at that point, it's easy to reset everything up to make this party her party to be earning income immediately. I go over the host letter, which explains basically everything that I just explained to you guys, but it's also a reference for my host to go back on if she has any questions. I mean, she can always contact me, but it's also a handy tool for her to have. It also includes the date of her party as well as the day we officially decide to close, because I do give them a few more days to collect a couple more orders. I explain the 5, 15, and 5, which is 5 orders from people that cannot make it to the party but would like to order, 15 guests that are ordering guests at the party, and 15 orders from guests that originally RSVP'd but did not end up attending. I talked to my host about who you can invite. So I actually have talked to one of my uplines, Terry Strutton. She encouraged me to start using a contact of 50 people. So that's what I've started incorporating in mine. So basically, your host will make a list of 50 people. Any 50 people that she can contact. It doesn't mean that she knows they're going to order, but any 50 people she can contact. I start having her contact those people and marking off the no's. And of course, those no's, she will still ask and invite them to place an order, even though they can't attend. And then as a couple weeks ago, we're at week 2. We can continue to go over that list as people to contact so that she is getting her RSVPs. Okay. So I explained to her, and ideas for people to invite, we have basically everyone: your neighbors, your friends, your family, church, kids, your kids' sports, your coworkers, your husband's buddies or wives, etc. I mean, you never know. About 2 weeks before the party, I actually do set up a Facebook event for my cooking shows. That way, that is one way that she can contact guests. It's not the only way I encourage her to contact guests. I have her personally call and text, which is my personal preference because it is again, personal invite. They feel more included. It's not just a broad invite. Emails, postcard, Facebook Messenger, and everything like that. Throughout the Facebook party event that I do, I actually do post a couple of posts about a week before the party for that week leading to the party to kind of get people excited about the party. I do things such as recipes and tips and tricks, but as well as reminders and just explaining to everybody how excited I am to meet everyone coming to her party. I also encourage the host to have the people that have RSVP'd, I encourage her to have them bring a friend. And it can be a friend that's not a friend of their normal circle, like a friend that the host has never met, a friend that's never been to a Pampered Chef party, or a friend that is obsessed with Pampered Chef. I mean, just encourage them to definitely bring a friend. And then at that point, I also send her the ingredients list for her party so that she can buy what's needed. And then 2 days before the party, I touch base to see how many expected RSVPs we have as a final, and go over the list of 50 contacts again to see if there's any more that we can add. I also encourage the host to be ready to talk about her favorite product at her party. We discuss whether the host wants to do a station style party or if her crowd would prefer the host and I prepare the meal in front of them. I personally prefer a station style because it gets the guests more involved and touching and using the products. So at the party, of course, I explained to my host that I'll be there about 30 minutes before it starts. I ask her again at that point if she wants to sign up if she hasn't already decided to. Throughout the party, again, I talk to her about which guests that are there that might want to host a party, or who she thinks might want to host a party. And at closing, or at checkout, should I say, I do ask everybody, but I keep an eye out for the couple that she had given me, those that she thinks would be really good at hosting. After the show, I contact the host about 2 days later to collect outside orders, the 5-15-5. If she hasn't already sent them to me, I encourage her to send out a thank you to all of her guests. I do the same as well. And at that point, I ask her again if she would like to sign. I explain that she could have earned X amount of money on this party if she would have signed prior. Basically, at that point, I talked to her about booking in about 6 months. And then after that, I do my 2x2x2 and contacting the host, and the guests, in regards to whether they've gotten their products and if they've gotten them out of the box. I think that covers about it. Sorry if I ramble, guys.
That was awesome. Man, there's a lot that goes into
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, I mean, I do a lot of that as well. I mean, it's just basically what we're trying to get out here is that it's super, super important to coach your host. Like, if you tell them what they're supposed to do, they'll do it. I mean, you have to tell them, and you also have to keep them on task. You can't just say, okay, I need you to do this today, and then not follow up with them or not make sure that they've done it. And of course, do it in a very respectful, kind manner, but got to get the point across, like, hey, you wanted this party, you wanted free product, keep reminding them of what's in front of them. Don't forget, this month you get 60% off anything in the catalog. You have to get at least $200 in sales to get that. So what are we going to do? Got to follow your tips. So for me, for virtual parties, I start, as soon as a couple days before I even mail out the host packet. So I always send out my host pack a couple weeks before. And then a couple of days before I send my host packet, I always send them a little private message. I don't do phone calls. It's not my thing. So far, I haven't had anybody complain about it, but I do get the whole personal aspect of making a phone call. I just absolutely hate being on the phone. So I send a private message, and I just basically say, hey, just want to let you know I'm getting ready to mail out your host packet in a couple of days, and tell them, what to expect. You're going to have a couple of catalogs. There's order forms. I tell them about the 5-15-5. I have a host letter, too, that explains all of that and what to expect and what I expect. And then I also thank them for hosting. Thank you again so much for hosting. Not only are you helping such and such get an item for 50% off your party, but you're helping my business, you're getting free product. I mean, it's just awesome. So just get the excitement going about it. And then that gives them a couple days. I purposely do it 2 days beforehand because I want to give them the opportunity to back out if they want to. I'm not wasting any postage if they're not going to do it. So I've only had maybe 1 or 2 people in my entire year that's actually said, no, I forgot about it, I changed my mind or whatever. But that's why I do it a couple days beforehand. So that's the first time I host coaches, just kind of tell them what to expect. And then my parties run Friday to Friday, basically. So my pre-parties start on Friday and my parties start on Monday. So 2 days before my pre-party starts, so for me, every Wednesday, I know I'm sending a message to my upcoming parties. So I send them a little message or a little video and just say, hey, by now you should have gotten your host packet. Please let me know if you haven't. And I want to let you know, too, that before, we start getting any orders, I can make this party yours. So that's the first time that I ask them about joining. And I use the verbiage from the Ask Host 5 times, the very first one. I incorporate that in there with, making sure they receive their packet and everything. And then I also tell them that I'll be, when I set up their party on Facebook, I will send them another message letting them know it's ready to invite all their guests. And again, thank you so much for hosting. I mean, it's very important to always thank them because, they're getting free stuff, but they're also helping your business stay afloat. So you want to be super respectful and upbeat and encouraging with them. So then the day that the event is set up, which is the day before the pre-party, I send them another message and I let them know, okay, your party's set up, it's ready for you to invite everyone. And now starting that day, starting that Thursday, I have a tip that I send them every single day. So like their first one is, make sure you invite at least 150 to 200 people. We need 30 going by Monday. I give an early bird prize. We have 30 people going by Monday. And I do a drawing, right? So I tell them that's ready, invite all their people, and then that Thursday night, starting Thursday, and then every night after I send a tip, I go into their parties and make sure, okay, Thursday night, have they accepted the invite? Have they invited people? Did they invite just 20 people, So then I send out a message, hey, I noticed that you invited 20 people. Thank you so much for that. But in order for us to have a really successful party, we need at least 30 to get going. And only about 5% of the people that you've invited are even seeing the invitation. So we really need to get some more invitations out there. Can you do that for me? So get that going. If they haven't accepted the invites, then message, hey, your pre-party's starting tomorrow. I really need you to accept that invite and start inviting people. And then every night after that, my tips that I send them, which are literally just copy and pasted off of a Word doc, always say on the end, please comment done. So at the end of the day, if I can see that only 4 of my hosts have commented and the 5th one hasn't, I'll send her a separate message saying, hey, I noticed you haven't commented that you did your tips yet for today. Are you going to be able to do them before the night's over with? And I usually can get them to complete it. I mean, they get busy, work full time, they're busy. So it's keeping them on task. It's making sure you send them every single day. And again, constantly thanking them and for, tell them how much you appreciate them doing it, even though you know that they're very busy, so those are my tips. I mean, you have to send those. And then during your party, watch for all those people that are commenting a lot. I mean, I always ask them to book, but I first like to ask those people if they've ever thought about joining Pampered Chef, just kind of get the conversation going with them. So I notice how much you really love Pampered Chef. I mean, have you ever given any thought to doing this business and making some extra money? They always, answer no or whatever reason. And I have, verbiage I use to overcome objections. I can almost always get them to at least book a party from me. And then I hit them up again during their party by asking them 5 times. And I can also usually get them to join the work from home group. And then I invite them to any opportunity event that's happening. So you have to watch for those people that really participate a lot. And I have a little show planner I do. Here's one right now for a party that's ending tomorrow. I mean, I've got tons of names on there, people that are participating. And, I keep track of it. I usually go in about 8 o'clock every night and, write down who's really participating in stuff. So there's some work involved in it, but it's really beneficial. I mean, I, as of today, have 5 parties every single Monday in May. My May calendar is completely full. And my June calendar, I already have some on there. I already have some on July. So it really works by doing this host coaching and being engaging during your party and really reaching out to people. So I encourage you guys to all do that. So do any of y'all have questions about host coaching? Do some of you not like doing it or don't feel comfortable doing it? Or are there any of you that don't do it? Yay, everybody does it. That's what you got to do. Okay, so anybody have questions? None? No questions. I know host coaching is pretty simple. You just, got to do it.
Simple but important.
It's very important, very important, very important to keep. I know it's easy just to copy and paste a tip and send it every day. But you guys have to keep them on task. You have to, send a friendly reminder. Hey, don't forget to do those tips I sent you today. Things like that. And most of the time, they appreciate it. I'll get some that'll say, "Oh man, I got so busy today, I totally forgot," and appreciate it. So you just have to, and don't feel like you're bugging them or anything, because there's a way to word it, and whether it's over the phone or whether it's in a text message or whatever, to make it sound kind of nonchalant but important. So okay, so since nobody has any questions, we're going to get right on to the homework assignment, and Samantha's going to go over that with you guys. And again, congratulations on your 3 weeks. You guys are halfway there. So cool.
Yay. All right, halfway, guys. Okay, so this week, of course, continue with your contacts. So minimum of 15 contacts this week. Go and listen to the host coaching with Lisa Noto and Michael Yoakley. I'll post that link for you guys. PCU, host coaching and peer sharing. And then, of course, post your 5 takeaways from the videos. And, of course, keep practicing, looking for your leads and whatnot, because, like Trish said, you're always looking for that stuff in your parties and in your host. So other than that, guys, be excited that you're still in this. It is so completely possible for you guys to hit director by conference, and I'm excited to see all of you guys here. And I hope to see most of you guys at conference. Hey, let's go walk that stage, y'all.
Right? Okay, and you guys, I'm so sorry to back up, but I was just reminded that I completely skipped introducing myself and why I joined Campus Chef. I was just, Samantha was going over her host coaching, and I thought, okay, turn to host coach. I'm so sorry. Okay, so first of all, I started with Pampered Chef January of last year, so it's a little over a year. And I fast-tracked by the skin of my teeth. I mean, it was down to like the last day of the month, and I was sweating bullets, and Claudia was sweating bullets. We made it work.
I did that too, Trish.
I got to mute somebody real quick. Oh, I guess they already muted them. Okay, very good. So anyhow, okay, sorry. Man, I was like, squirrel. So for me, my why was just because I just love Pampered Chef. I just love their products. I've always loved their products. Claudia saw me at a party. One of my daughter's friends hosted a party, and my daughter invited me because she knows I love Pampered Chef, and I was needing a new knife. And so during the party, of course, I was the host of it, or the guest that I look for. It's like I'm commenting on everything. Oh my God, I love this. I love that. I love Pampered Chef. Woo, So Claudia reached out to me. I booked a party, and then she, talked me into to joining. And it took her a little bit. I wasn't an easy person. I bet she asked every bit of the 5 times plus. But I thought, I can make a little extra money. And she was just like, just give it 30 days. If you don't like it, you can peace out, basically. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Like, all right, I can do 30 days. I'm not paying for anything, and I'm going to make some commission. So I got that paycheck, and I said, I want more. So I kept going. So my why was because I loved, the Pampered Chef products, and then I pretty much stayed because I saw the income opportunity. How Pampered Chef has impacted my family is that I've been in the banking industry for over 20 years. And dude, I was so just like over it, completely over it. I know it like the back of my hand. That's all I know basically. That and waiting tables. I can wait some tables too. I just wanted out of it, like I was over it. And thanks to becoming a director and getting that extra income, I was able to quit my full-time job. And I have been able to stay home since last September. So I've been able to stay at home. So how that has impacted me is that I'm a lot less stressed out. My husband doesn't have to come home to a crabby wife. I'm doing something I really, really love. Like I really enjoy this a lot. I didn't enjoy anything I did in the banking industry. So that's really how it's impacted. Besides the income, it's really impacted me and my husband that way. And, you know, my daughter lives in California. If, you know, I want to take a trip to go see her, I don't have to ask off. I don't have to worry about coming back home to a pile of stuff on my desk at work. I take my work with me. I do it on the plane. I do it in her house. I do it, you know, wherever. I mean, it's just, it's huge. So my favorite perk of being a director, at first, it was just the extra money because I was scared to death to even try to begin to train anybody. But now my favorite part is just seeing my team grow and be excited. And it's just really, it's exciting, you know, to see that. So anyhow, that's all I got. Thank you guys for joining. Again, before we go, anybody have any questions? Nope. 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 Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to stop the recording now.